Alright, I'm working on this 1939 Maytag again, and come across another problem. You know, this thing just keeps fighting me and fighting me. I noticed when we were at Mike's trying to start at that time that there was gas leaking out the side, you know, and I just attributed it to that gasket. It was a thin gasket, and it wasn't one of the best ones. You know, it was new, but it was a thin paper gasket, and this will be the gasket I'm using now, which is a little thicker and much nicer. But anyway, I thought that was the problem, and then after looking at it a little better, putting the lid on, I realized this lid is a little tweak. You know, it's a little bent some. See that? It doesn't sit flat on there. Had on backwards there. No worries. It's still bent. And it's you know, not bent a little. It's off by about an eighth there. So I mentioned it to Mike, and I showed it to him when he was over here one night, and he suggested just grinding down the corners. You know, this corner here and this corner here. You know, the two high corners, and then just keep working it, and make it fit. You know, because you know, it's a machine fit. You know, but it's not critical. You know, you got the gasket. I even considered, you know, sealer, you know, RTV or whatever they call it, but might as well try and make it right. So today I decided I'd do something with it, and I remembered I had this machine finish here, you know, so that's where the block bolts to. So it's a machine finish, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I could stick it in a little mill and try that. So I brought it over to this little mill here, and this little mill does almost everything for us. It's done so much stuff for us, it's unbelievable. But I put it on there. Let me see if I get a little more light for you. All right, yeah, and I set it up, and you got that little lump there, so you can only set it up so many different ways. You know, I could raise it. Let me turn it around, just for the sake of explaining. I'll leave that off. I did have it bolted up there, so it was level. But my little mill here, it doesn't have enough travel to be able to get the whole thing. You know, and the way the channels are here to hold it down. You know, I could only hold it so many different ways. I put it in there a couple different times, and I was able to get about 98% of it. You know, I marked everything that I was able to cut, and then I turned it to a different way. You know, I don't mind having to go through all the trouble of doing that, you know, just to get something done. But it turned out there was, no matter how many ways I put this on there, there were still little sections that I couldn't get. You know, I mean small ones, you know, like maybe a ½ inch here, and in the corner here like a ¼ inch, which I could have ground down and did some file work and it would have been perfect. But you know, as I was doing that, you know, I worked on it for about 2 hours trying to see where I could set it up and everything like that. And the phone rang, and it was Mike. You know, it wasn't related to this. It was bad enough. He wanted to talk to me about something else, and I mentioned it to him. And he says, I don't know why you waste your time like that. He goes, as good as I am with a file and a grinder, he said, you should just do that. And, you know, because I could actually take us down to Mike's house, and he's got his mill up, and he would do this for me. But he almost shamed me into doing it, you know, just the original way we talked about it. You know, I'm going to hit it on a sander and just take the high spots down and keep working it, and then hit it with some big files, and I should be okay. But like I say, this thing keeps fighting me, so let's stick around with that and see if we can get this thing even close, you know, and then we'll continue on and do something else with it and get this thing back together. I know a couple of you guys are asking, you know, why? How do you know that that's bent, and not the base? Well, my drill press over here. I know this plate is perfectly flat. That's machined, and I brought it over here, double check it, and you know, it's still cattywampus. So that's how we know it's the lid. I put the base over there, and the base is perfectly flat. So that's how we know it's the top part here. All right. Let's do some work instead of talking, all right? All right. Yeah, I marked the two corners here so I don't, you know, make a mistake and take more off the low ends. So what I'm going to do now is, like I said, I marked the two corners, and I'm going to take my my Sharpie Magnum here and just put it on the bottom here so we can see what we did and what we didn't do. So yeah, these come in handy. You know, I use this a lot. So I'll leave a link down there. A couple of you guys asked me where to get them, and I guess I'll meet you over there at the sander. I'll show you what we're going to do on a big sanding belt. All right, I'm over here at the belt sander, and it would be nice. I'd have to take half the machine apart here to get the full belt. And then I could use the whole thing, but I don't think I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll just do one edge at a time. And my belt's pretty worn down, which is a good thing, because that way I won't be taking too much material off at once. All right, let me give you maybe put a little light on the subject here. All right, if you got headphones on or earplugs, put them in. Let's see what we can do now. I'm going to keep going back and checking, and we'll see how it looks. All right. Yeah, I've come back 5 or 6 times already. You know, I'm only taking a little bit off at a time, and it is much better. Still have a little more to take off, but it is. Each time I come back, it's getting much better. I'm tempted to change the belt because it's taking such little off at a time, but you know, that'd be a kiss of death. So I'm just going to keep working it. Alright. It's much better already. I made about 10 trips back to the sander, but you can actually hear it. You know, it's just so close. Instead of the big wonk, 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 it's just... So. Alright, let me finish this up a little, and we'll hit her with a file. See how she goes. Alright. Yeah, that's over there. I'm happy with that. We got no movement at all. So I move my thumbs, nothing. So now we're going to take the file and we'll run it across everything and just make sure everything is level with each other, and smooth out the sections that we took off there. All right, here we're just filing it flat here. This one's cutting a little better. See that? Alright, I'm going to keep working this till I like what I see. And you know what Road King says? File is your friend. Alright, let me continue that and then we'll give it a final test fit. Alright, yeah, I got that all filed down and it's perfectly flat all around, so I'm happy with that. And then with a gasket on there. There we go. There's the top and the bottom, the right and the left. Yeah, put that gasket on there, this thing ain't never gonna leak, so. You know, I wasn't gonna seal this because these tanks don't rot out, they're a 1/4 inch thick. But they do rust up. So, like I said, I wasn't gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna put some tank sealer in there because I got it here and we got a few minutes left on the tape here. So, let's do that. Let me wire wheel this and wire wheel that, and then we'll apply some of that red coat. It's good stuff. I'll leave a link in the description. It ain't that expensive either. I think it's like 20 bucks, $25 for a quart, and it goes a long way. And it works. You know, I've used all this stuff. You know, I've used the white stuff, and you know, I think this is the best. All right, let's wire wheel that. All right, got that old wire wheeled, both of them, and degreased with lacquer thinner. And I'm going to take this out near the front door there, and when I open that garage door, it's going to cover that light, so it's going to be a little dark back there. But we're going to do the best we can, because this stuff is really nasty, really bad for you. It's got MEK in there and acetone, and man, it stinks to the high heavens. Matter of fact, that's why I'm going to use a big brush on this, you know. So I finish it in a hurry. Plus, I'm going to use my paint respirator on it too, instead of just a dust mask or something. So let's go out there and we'll slop it on there. Forgot to mention, we even got the fan going there, that old fan, and the old Tornado here. So trying to get some circulation. Alright, we'll let that set up overnight. It dries up pretty fast. And once it dries up and the stink goes away, then you know it's cured. So here we go. We'll leave it here and we'll check it in the morning. Then we can clean up the edges and stuff with a razor blade. Alright. Alright. I guess it's been about 12 hours or so. And you know, it dries. This stuff dries fast. And it has no smell to it at all now. And you know, it looks like hell when you're putting it on, but then it flows out and then it shrinks. Once all the stuff evaporates, it shrinks down and it's like it's part of the machine. But I wasn't worrying. I didn't tape it off. Wasn't worrying about this because you get a sharp razor and you can trim this right up. Okay. Alright, let me clean that up and then we'll see what they look like. Alright, yeah, cleaned up pretty easy. And like I say, it's, you know, it'll serve a purpose. Alright, this video is going to be a short one, but, you know, this had to be done. I wish I could have started putting it together, but, you know, we had to make this right. So, I guess that'll be it. But before I sign off here, I want to thank Chris Fleming from New Zealand. Sent me a plate. Now let's go over and see what it looks like. Put it on the wall. Alright. Looks like you found a place for it right here. Or over here. Let's see what else we have to fit over there. Okay, so we got New Zealand, Sweden, Australia, Ireland, and the Netherlands. And that far away place, New Jersey and Ontario. I almost forgot Ontario because it's so little. So that's it. I have one supposed to be coming from England, but I don't know if it got lost in the mail, and we're not going to get it. But we're going to keep waiting. So anybody overseas there wants to send me a plate? We still got a lot of countries we don't have here. Germany, I know we got a lot of German viewers. So. Alright, that's it. We're gonna call this a video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, enough of this.